Pinky here, and welcome back to my sister and I's daily Warrior Cat speed paints, where my older sister Rachel draws the scene, and I, Lily, tell with voiceover the story behind the drawing. This week we'll be following up with Pine Star's deputy and the next ThunderClan leader in line, Sunstar. Well, for this speed paint he'll be Sunkit. Yep, we're going to the timeline of the short story Goosefeather's Curse. And Rachel's drawing the scene where Goosefeather is spying on Sunkit and his brother Featherkit playing, and he's prophesying that Sunkit will lead the clan someday. And Goosefeather's medicine cat mentor Cloudberry is glaring at him and telling him that he should just allow these kids to grow up normally, without having to worry about a huge destiny looming over them. A little bit of background, I'll read to you guys now the scene where Sunkit is born, and Goosefeather first receives insight into his future. You guys can follow along with me in the book. It's at the end of Chapter 7 of Goosefeather's Curse. Cloudberry turned to Larksong and ran one paw along the she-cat's flank. "You have a beautiful son," she purred, "but I think there's another to come. Don't give up now." Goosefeather began to lick the tiny kit's damp fur, keeping one eye on Larksong. A heartbeat later, there was a second bundle lying in the moss. Cloudberry pushed it towards Larksong's head. "Another Tom." "With a loud voice already," Cloudberry purred. "Come on, Larksong. Clean him up so they can have their first feed." Goosefeather felt his kit start to wriggle beneath his tongue. "I think this one's hungry," he mewed. "Put him next to Larksong's belly," Cloudberry instructed. "He'll know what to do." Goosefeather stared in awe as the kit nosed its way into Larksong's fur. "Amazing," he breathed. "I agree," meowed Cloudberry softly. "I never get tired of this moment." The second kit joined his brother, and Goosefeather watched them suckle. Larksong lay back and closed her eyes. Cloudberry started to pull away at the moss. "We'll freshen up her nest and leave her in peace." Goosefeather rested one paw on the kit that he'd cleaned. At once, images burst into his head, tumbling and flashing in a blur of senses. The moonstone, the strong smell of herbs, a gaping womb padded with thick white webs, glittering starlight full of voices. He looked up at Cloudberry. "He's going to be a medicine cat." Quickly, he placed his paw on the other kit. Now he saw 4 giant oaks silhouetted against the night sky. He felt the cool stone of Great Rock beneath his paws. He watched the clan swirl in the hollow below. He heard the roar of battle and tasted the sweetness of victory, echoed in the cheers of his warriors. "And this one will be ThunderClan's leader," he declared. He stared at Cloudberry, his head whirling. "We have to tell Dostar. These kids are truly special." He jumped up, but Cloudberry blocked his way with her tail. "Every kid is special," she told him fiercely. "You may think that you know what will happen, but StarClan knows better than any of us. Let these kids grow up like any other, without knowing the burden of their future." Not many cats have their destiny told at the moment that they are born. Goosefeather was very sure that Sunkit was special. Not even Firestar himself had his destiny told when he was born, so, Sunstar must be pretty great. Now I'll read another scene. This is the moment that Rachel's capturing in this speed paint, and you can follow along with me in the book. It's at the beginning of Chapter 8 of Goosefeather's Curse. As the moons rolled into Leafbear, more and more kits were born, until Goosefeather could hardly squeeze into the nursery. Hairpounce gave birth to a pair of pale-furred she-cats, Speckle-Kit and White-Kit, and Rainfur joined her soon after with Dapple-Kit, Tawny-Kit, and Thrush-Kit. Cloudberry insisted on dealing with the births on her own, sending Goosefeather to fetch soaked moss and fresh bedding instead. Goosefeather knew she didn't want him to touch the newborn kits, for fear that he would see their entire future unroll. Meanwhile, Larksong's brace of Toms, Sunkit and Featherkit, grew into strong little cats, ready to nip Goosefeather's tail when he wasn't watching, or shred their freshly laid nest with their thorn-sharp teeth. As soon as their eyes were open, Larksong shooed them out of the nursery to give the other queens some peace. Her sons tottered about the clearing on their sturdy legs, fur fluffed up against the cold. A tendril of ivy lay on the ground beside the half-tree, and the kids pounced on it with ferocious squeaks. "Did you see Sunkit jump just then?" Goosefeather meowed to Cloudberry. "He's already more powerful than his brother." Cloudberry looked at Goosefeather, her yellow eyes wary. "Be careful," she murmured. "Don't let the kids hear you say that." Goosefeather let out a hiss of irritation. "I was only making an observation." His mentor shook her head. "You see his future every time you look at him. Don't let that blind you to what's happening now, Goosefeather." "I can't take away what I've seen," Goosefeather growled. "The fact that Sunkit's going to grow up to be our leader makes him special." "All kits are special. To their mothers, they're the most perfect creatures that ever walked the forest. But as medicine cats, we must treat our clanmates as equals. None is more deserving of our care than another. You should know that by now." That would be really hard to have someone see all of your potential. it doesn't give Sunkit a lot of room to fail. Luckily, Goosefeather seeing Sunkit's future doesn't screw him up. He grows up to be a kind and understanding warrior, and receives the warrior named Sunfall. And his brother becomes Goosefeather's medicine cat apprentice. The relationship between a leader and their medicine cat is very special, so it's really cool that Sunstar is the leader and his brother Featherwhisker is the medicine cat. I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think of Sunstar's destiny of becoming leader, given to him as a kit. I kind of think that Goosefeather never told him because I think it would have seriously screwed him up. Would you be able to grow up knowing that one day you would have to lead the clan? Would it make you cocky, scared, or would you welcome your destiny? Let me know what you would do down below. I think I'd be scared. I'd probably run away. Honestly. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to go and check out the video over on the side of my last speed paint. And click that subscribe button so you can always be notified when I make my next video. Alright guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon with the next speed paint. Bye-bye!